Welcome to a brand new edition of the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, and you're in for a treat today. This is indeed the Rundown with Ramon, and I know you're going to have a good time today. Get these mic levels adjusted and ready. Should have done these before I started speaking to you, but I think you can hear me well. So welcome to a brand new episode of the Rundown with Ramon. All we ask is for a little bit of your time to give you the top things you need to know to live your best life and start or grow your business. So welcome to a new episode of the Rundown with Ramon. We are live talking to you. Maybe you're listening to this episode early in the morning. Maybe you're listening to this episode late at night. Maybe you're listening to this episode in the middle of the day. Maybe you're listening to this episode, you're not feeling so great. Well, I hope I can make you feel a little bit better. Maybe you're hearing this episode and you're feeling fantastic. Well, thanks that I get to join you and you're feeling fantastic. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Got all that shine on my forehead and my face here. So what are we going to talk about today? We got a lot in store for you today. Did you know that no one cares about your company's mission statement? That's what a leader says. Your mission statement, nobody cares about it. It's kind of like blah. We'll get into that in a minute. We got our tips from Seth Godin. Language conceals and reveals, writes Seth Godin. Did you know that the search engine wars are back on? Google has had dominance for many years. I wonder, can Google keep its dominance? And how does this affect you? If you have a book lover in your life, there's 14 great gifts that I can recommend that you get them, so hang tight for that. If you travel a lot, you're constantly on the go, and you're still trying to be an effective leader, well, did you know you can make that happen? Bella, I will tell you more. Indeed, Bella Vasta, glad you're here today on the Rundown with Ramon. And Bella, did you also know 5 successful podcasters share the gold advice that makes them money in a very crowded market? Here's my question for you, though, the proverbial question for you. Would you pay to attend somebody's wedding? That's what I want to know. Would you pay to attend somebody's wedding right now? Talk to me, people. Talk to me. If you paid to attend somebody's wedding, I want you to put wedding dollars. Wedding dollars. If you would, let me know. Wherever you're watching this at, put it in some chat, comment, DM me, let me know. And if you wouldn't pay for somebody's wedding, I want you to type in wedding no. Wedding no. If you would pay. What else we got to cover today? He raised Disney prices, and guess what? He's on the CEO shortlist, but that's not the biggest issue I want to talk to you about. It's the aspect, guess what, that Disney can raise its prices and why it's doing that, and should you do as well? Yeah, Bella, what? Depends on how much I love them. I absolutely agree with you, Bella. And last but not least, pending the time we have in this episode, how to craft a memorable message according to science. We're going to dive right in right now. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. Started 5 companies, sold 3 companies. Get to know me better at RamonRay.com. Get to know me better at zoneofgenius.com. Looking for your next motivational speaker, next MC. Check me out at RamonRay.com, and or liking what you're hearing today, want to get a lot more of it, check us out at zoneofgenius.com. And thanks to our friends at smallbiztrends.com as well. Let's jump in to today's episode of The Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. No one cares about your company's mission statement. Leaders focus on this instead. Danny Brooks is an executive at Starbucks and IDEO. He now runs a strategy firm and explains what's so important about it, instead of your mission statement, about your origin story. And here's what he said. The majority of mission statements simply don't work. They're just not as effective as people think they are, and they can be a waste of time. He says an origin story explains how your company came to be. If executed correctly, it does something a mission statement rarely does. It communicates a company's values and fosters a bond with the consumer. Here, Brooks provides a playbook for deprioritizing your mission statement and bolstering your origin story. He says, look at Adidas's mission statement. Adidas is a great company. To be the best sports brand in the world, When you swap out the word sports for fast food or furniture or grass, whatever, it's a sign that there's absolutely nothing unique about it. He goes to JetBlue's mission statement to inspire humanity both in the ground and on the air. That's JetBlue's statement to inspire humanity. Really? I'm flying to visit my grandmother. I don't need to be inspired by humanity. So he has a point here that maybe mission statements are overrated. But he says when you have an origin story, it makes it much more compelling. An origin story is about human beings on a journey rather than some abstract concept written at an executive offsite. An origin story. So what's your origin story? How does it better connect with your company? Here's an origin story. He was challenged to make one in a few seconds. Okay, Patagonia. Yvonne Chouinard, a free-spirited young climber, realized that the expensive steel pythons he used for climbing were damaging the beautiful rock faces he loved so much, and he wondered how he might reduce environmental impact on Mother Nature by forging his own environmentally conscious climbing gear. That's an origin story. That's something that you can dig your feet in, dig your hands in, and connect with. Alexandria Nicole, glad you're here today. Alexandria, Bella, I ask you, I challenge you. What do you think when you're hearing that? Is a mission statement, maybe we focused too much on that? We've been taught to do that too much. Instead, simply telling people what's our origin story. What's our origin story? For me, my origin story is very simple. I worked at the United Nations for many, many years. In the early 90s, in the world of CompuServe and AOL and dial-ups, and Netscape browser was just getting popular, which younger people won't even know right now. iPhone was not there. Flip phone was very popular, and the Palm Visor just getting in the cusp of using a stylus to hit a screen. Blackberries would come out shortly thereafter. That's my origin story. So I was at the perfect time to get used to and start using some of the technology we're using today with streaming and web browsers and blogging. Social media wasn't even very popular then. Facebook, you still had to use .edu. And here I am today streaming and talking to thousands of people every day through a variety of channels. That's my origin story. Bella says mission statements are boring. Well, yeah, I guess they can be, Bella. So my question to you, my challenge to you all today is, maybe instead of having a mission statement, we need to do more of telling our origin story. My name is Ramon Ray. Welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. What do we have next? Ding, 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 ding. Language conceals and reveals. From Seth Godin. He says here, when a non-expert brings a strong point of view to a complex discussion, the words might not mean what they seem to mean. What might be being said is, I'm worried, I'm afraid. I don't understand, I'm looking for solace. Answering emotional word salad with logical insight doesn't do anything at all for these feelings. If the argument you're hearing isn't based on what we know to be true and doesn't lead to a logical conclusion, it could be because it's not actually seeking to be productive discussion. It's awkward to say yada, 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 but that might be what's an offer. When in doubt, look for the emotions and desires behind the words. People often don't want their arguments to be heard as much as they're hoping their emotions will be. Wow. I think we know this, but it's a good reminder as people are talking to us and giving us their logic. Sometimes we have to stop the train on the logic and the factual and speak to people's hearts. Again, everybody, if you're just joining, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. It seems like the aspect of mission statement versus origin story really brought some things out. I'm going to talk about Bella for a minute here. I spent 182 days in NICU with one of the smallest babies born in the world at 12 ounces. I was able to run 2 businesses that thrived, and I am on fire to teach people how to build their businesses to thrive no matter what stages of life they are in. 182 days in the neo-intensive care unit at a hospital. Wow, wow, wow. And now running 2 businesses. That's an origin story. That's a story. Alexandria says, the mission statement with our team to establish our core values, and I share our origin story with our community. We serve mission statement, internal, origin story, external. Love it, love it, love it. So next time you're sharing with somebody about your business, maybe mix it up a bit. Don't just share the mission statement, but also share the origin story. Let's not forget what Seth Godin's insights were today. He encourages us to not just speak to the facts, not just speak to the logic, but also speak more to the emotions and connect with people. Ding, 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 ding. The search engine wars are back on. If you did not know that, the search engine wars are back on. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? Well, that means that Google has been dominant in recent years and being the dominant search engine by being default on Yahoo and other places. Microsoft has spent more than $100 billion on Bing to be a default search engine. It never cracked much into that. Google is generic. Let's Google it. Before we used to Xerox it, now we Google it. But now there's a bit of worry with the arrival of AI, ChatGPT. People now are going to the bots, going to AI and getting their search results. People are going to the bots and getting full-fledged search results in return. Now, at the top of many searches, users can expect to see AI-generated answers synthesized from web results. Yeah, this is good for us for sure because we get our answers faster, easier, more thorough, but it's not good for these search engines, say some. Perplexity is fundamentally shifting how we're engaging with things. Rather than a list of results, which it gives searchers next, what it gives searchers next is a prompt to ask another questions. Asking the right questions will give you the right answers, and you'll learn to prompt better. For basic queries, the world's largest search engine and comparatively minuscule startups are converting on a pretty similar product, a fairly conventional take on search, blending generated text with experts. So search is changing. And my admonition to you is, as search changes, I recommend you search your business and see, are you ready to be in a world dominated by AI, dominated by bots? What happens when people search on your name? Search on the name Bella Vesta, what comes up? Search on the name Alexandria Nicole, what comes up? Search on the name Ramon Ray, and let's see what comes up. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. 14 great gifts for book lovers from the New York Times Wirecutter. 1 bookish burn. This looks like a candle for book lovers entitled Bibliothèque. Interesting. No one needs an exorbitantly priced candle that claims to smell like an old library. Yet, here it is. Burrito's Bibliothèque candle is a sublime offering, especially for a bibliophile. Wow, check that out. Reader's Tea. One more chapter, one more chapter, one more chapter. This t-shirt from Inkwell Threads, one more chapter tea. Literary listening from Libro.fm. This audiobook service has a similar fee structure and selection to others we've tried, but each purchase supports a local bookstore, Libro.fm. Lithograph throw blanket. Micro fleece blankets are printed with up to 30,000 words for more than 200 classics. A lithograph throw blanket. Illustrated stacks. Your favorite bibliophile will love this artful, colorfully illustrated compendium of book stacks and other bookish ephemera. Can't even pronounce some of these words. Say it loud. An interesting bag. Out of print book nerd floral tote. A reading tracker, kind of like a journal to keep track of what you're reading. Joy Reading Journal with this hardcover journal, which can be personalized for free. Your favorite bibliophile can keep track of reading list. Loop Author Sweatshirt. Unisex crew neck sweatshirts bear the names of famous authors. Of course, a good reading light is nice from Glucent Bookmark Style Reading Light. A compact and chic device offers the most light settings of all of our picks, and it has a power indicator so you know when to charge it. Now, this seems like a very boring item, but I'm going to go with it. A library board game. In this interactive literary game, players must write convincing fake first lines of famous books. Maybe that's not so boring. Bragging rights poster. Pop chart scratch off print 100 essential novels. A scratch off chart depicts 100 must read novels or must read novels. Bookish ball cap says books, clearly for the book lover. A book of the month, the original subscription service has members choose a book from 6 or 7 books to get a book of the month. Listen, this was put together by Samantha from New York Times Wirecutter. Samantha, thanks for sharing that with us. So if you have a book lover in your life, you may want to consider getting them that. Interesting here, we're getting some more input. Alexandria, all of my articles and press show us after. Alexandria Nicole Seller talking about the search. So I encourage you, search on your name, search on your company, and see what comes up. Ding, 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 ding. How to be an effective leader while constantly on the go. How to be an effective leader while constantly on the go. What can you do if you're traveling quite a bit, but you still need to lead a team? One, except that you don't own a time traveling DeLorean. You have to travel, and that's the way it is. Accept that. The only way to reach the point where you're comfortably delegating tasks and feeling confident in your team is to leave for a trip knowing you are at the front and the back lines. The vision behind a particularly ongoing project is understood, and the feedback you provided was adequate. Number 2, if you're on the go all the time wondering what to do about it and you need to lead still, intentionally find your off switch. Travel can push you to create a blueprint that prioritizes recovery so that you can show up every day as the leader you're striving to be. Share with the group. The invaluable experience you can gain as an entrepreneur who is constantly experiencing new destinations, people, business styles, and cultures can be turned into valuable lessons and encourage your team to see things from new perspectives. This is what it takes. So it's okay to travel all the time. It's okay to be a leader. And if you're doing both of them and traveling all the time and being a leader, what to do about it? Well, you have to embrace the reality of what's happening to you and still move forward and serve your team as best you can. Deanna Lammerts is here. Happy day today, Deanna. Glad you're here on the Rundown with Ramon. Hope you're enjoying it, everybody. Again, my name is Ramon Ray, writer, author, producer. You can get to know me better at RamonRay.com. Get to know me as well. Check us out at zoneofgenius.com. And I hope you're enjoying this episode of The Rundown with Ramon. Moving forward, ding, 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 ding. 5 successful podcasters share the golden advice that's making them money in a crowded market. How do you succeed in making a podcast? Well, number 1, think of it as a gateway. Don't think of it as just a podcast. Think of it as a gateway to more than you could ever imagine. I started with 1 podcast, then 2, and it eventually evolved into a full podcast network. Now the network has transformed into a platform that discovers and cultivates talent and influential leaders with multiple businesses. That's Will Slickers, founder and CEO of Hospitality.fm. Number 2, pay attention to your thoughts. It may sound simple, but shifting my mindset has significantly contributed to my success. I studied the topic of neuroplasticity and learned that we have as many as 60,000 thoughts per day, so pay attention to your thoughts. I started protecting myself when others second-guessed my choices to make sure I didn't, in turn, second-guess myself. You need to know what you do best and what your audience wants. Be mindful of who you have as a guest. I've always preferred to invite guests on the show who have compelling stories to tell over chasing down guests who might have a more attractive following. It might be counterintuitive, and I see a lot of podcasters preaching that you need big name guests to garner downloads, but I found that often it's the lesser known guests who really value the opportunity and take it more seriously. Interesting. So be mindful of who you have as a guest on your show. Focus on value and see the return. The most incredible thing about podcasting is the trust flywheel you build. You garner a deeper level of trust by consistently delivering value to your audience. As a result, I often receive multiple amazing opportunities every week from avid listeners inviting me to be a part of something they're working on. And number 5, success tips for podcasting: niche down. My biggest piece of advice would be to niche down, to go narrow in who you are serving. All right, I hope you're enjoying the Rundown with Ramon, which is a show, which is a podcast and more that we aim to do every single day, unless I'm traveling and can't do it. Alexandria says yes. Thank you for that vote of confidence, Alexandria. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, as we only ask for a little bit of your time to give you the top things you need to know to live your best life or start or grow your business. Ding, 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 ding. Why would you pay to attend a wedding? I'm curious, would you pay to attend a wedding? I don't know. I think we've answered that question earlier. Who said that? That was by Bella. Said right out of the gate, well, it depends on how much I love them. My daughter's getting married soon. And hey, listen, it's expensive to do a wedding. I'm not spending $100,000 on it, as I read here on one article, but a wedding can cost a lot. You get it in a low-cost venue, maybe a church or something, if it's a small wedding. But if it's a big wedding, you have to get a proper venue space, and the food can cost easily $50, $60, $100 a plate. This doesn't include if you have some audio visual equipment. And of course, the proverbial thing, it depends on how many guests you have. We have about 350 to 400 guests coming at my daughter's weddings. That's a lot of people. So would you pay to attend a wedding? Listen, I'd feel a bit slimy if I had to pay to attend a wedding. But if they said we're asking for contributions to defray the cost of the wedding, yeah, that I would do. But I thought it was interesting. More and more people, it seems, are indeed getting people to pay for weddings and buy a ticket. Great question. Pay in terms of traveling to join them or pay an admission fee? Hey, these are great questions. Of course, if it's a destination wedding, that's a given. The guests are going to pay their own fee to travel there, of course. But hey, many weddings, many brides and bridegrooms are saying, hey, listen, to attend our wedding, it costs $500, it costs $300, it costs $600 to help defray those costs, I assume. Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. We got an eclectic mix of things that we share with you to help your personal life to start and grow your business. And thank you for being here on the Rundown with Ramon as we plow through. Ding, 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 ding. He raised Disney park prices, and fans still love him. Talking about here, Josh D'Amaro, who's head of Entertainment Giants theme park division, is in contention to succeed Bob Iger, who's now head of Disney. And I thought this was interesting. He raised Disney prices. People still coming to Disney. And it's still a great experience. I haven't been there in some time. And it got me thinking, for us business owners, should we raise our prices from time to time? And I think we would, not just with the cost of living and inflation, but I think we want to build in and have the profits that we want in our business. Love this. Deanna says, why spending money on a wedding instead of investing or even donating? It's not about the others. It's about the couple and their promise for life. And I said this, Deanna, because this goes back to Disney raising prices. Things cost money. Hey, listen, if you have a wedding, you don't want to go in debt with that wedding, even though most people do. Disney, it's in business to make money. Raising the prices, it has its own cost increases, I'm sure, but also raising the prices to increase profitability. So the question is, Disney's raising prices. Should you raise your prices as well? We'll wrap up on this final one here. Alexandria says, we raise prices by 15% every 6 months. Good for you. And please DM me, Alexandria, let them know a bit more who you are and what you do. Thanks for being here on the Rundown with Ramon. We'll lastly end on this gem here. How to craft a memorable message according to science. Imagine sitting in a meeting where someone is giving a presentation. You're somewhat interested in the topic and the speaker seems to be doing a good job. The meeting ends, and 30 minutes later, you try to recall what was discussed. You could remember that the coffee was weak, the room was cold, and the speaker was wearing a pink tie, but you can't remember what they were talking about. So, how do you make a message memorable? One, chunk it up. The human brain can only remember so many things. So, it only can keep a limited amount of information at a time. So, to get around working memory capacity limits, we can use chunking, in which we explicitly tie together the points that we want to convey under the umbrella of a central idea. Number two, make it concrete. When communicating about a complex topic, you can make your message memorable with a concrete example. Make it concrete. What's an example you can use so people can tie in the idea and make it easy to remember? Provide callbacks. Recalling something that we previously learned can make it stronger and easier to access when we will need it. Spark their curiosity. If you only focus your presentation on leading up to a final message, you are missing a huge opportunity. After writing over 200 academic papers and thousands of pages of research grants, I've learned that the key to memorable communication lies not in conveying the answer, but in establishing a compelling question. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of The Rundown with Ramon. I hope you check us out hope you check me out at RamonRay.com. Hope you check out the Zone of Genius at zoneofgenius.com. Gary Jackson's here. Thank you so much, Gary, for being here today. And I hope you remember to go make the world a better place. Go tell somebody they matter. Go tell somebody that you care. Go tell somebody that you care about them. We need the world to be a place where people care about each other. People think about each other. People want to do the best they can for each other. And if each one of us are determined to make the world a better place, to just be more empathetic, to pay more attention to our fellow person, how much better the world will be. Again, my name is Ramon Ray, your host. Check me out at RamonRay.com. Check me out at zoneofgenius.com. Got some goodies there for you. And enjoy the rest of your day. This has been The Rundown with Ramon. Thanks so much.